There is a moral code created by a humanist, secular humanist, called the Secular Humanist Manifesto that that tries to do that. It tries to come up with a whole number of moral principles based on as few beliefs as possible. And part of that is sort of an understanding, and it also has to be based on on reality and human nature and reason. I think that if you abandon any of those things, you're going to end up with a goofy moral code, right? I think so. So the secular humanism thing is based on humans creating their own moral code, and we have to admit, we have to realize that humans are fallible. So so we might make mistakes, and so we have to have a moral code that is amenable to be adjusted and fixed, and with a later perspective, when we learn more, our knowledge of the world is increasing and evolving, and we are evolving. So our moral code has to evolve too. So so in a sense, there is no absolute morality, but I think that secular humanism, the Secular Humanist Manifesto, is a very good attempt, and I think it's going to be the closest thing to absolute morality, although it's not absolute in the sense that it's potentially flawed.
Does it give any instances of saying this behavior good, this behavior bad?
It's not like a commandment sort of thing. It's more of a values and such. What we can do is I can read a little bit about what it's about. This is kind of a summary of it. Secular humanism is a term which has come to use in the last 30 years to describe a worldview with the following elements and principles: a conviction that dogmas, ideologies, traditions, whether religious, political, or social, must be weighed and tested by each individual and not simply accepted on faith. So this is the whole reason, examine things in the light of reason. That commitment to use of critical reason, factual evidence, and scientific methods of inquiry rather than faith and mysticism in seeking solutions to human problems and answers to important questions. So we buy into that definitely, since we're atheists. A primary concern with fulfillment, growth, and creativity for both the individual and humankind in general. So this is achieving human potential both as individuals and a consistent search for objective truth with the understanding that new knowledge and experience constantly alter our imperfect perception of it. So this is this evolving knowledge idea. We don't know everything now. We might know more in the future. A concern for this life and a commitment to making it meaningful through better understanding of ourselves and our history, our intellectual and artistic achievements, and the outlooks of those who differ from us. Two more here. A search for viable individual social and political principles of ethical conduct, judging them on their ability to enhance human well-being and individual responsibility. So personal responsibility is a big one. So we get some themes here, but not commandments. Okay. A conviction that with reason, an open marketplace of ideas, goodwill, and tolerance, progress can be made in building a better world for ourselves and our children.
Okay. All right.
So this is a little capsule sort of summary of what secular humanism's about.
It kind of tilts it more of this is a process of gaining knowledge.
Versus it's much like the scientific method,
which is what morality has to be. It's a search for the best way to handle any given situation. There is no commandment that you can finally arrive at, I can imagine, where you could say, in this situation, this behavior is always bad. Or this behavior is always good. I don't think you can do that unless you want to start getting down to a laundry list of tiny little details, in which case, okay, fine, your commandments are now 156,000. But I don't see any point in doing that. It's a process. It's looking at a situation and saying, what is the right thing to do given the circumstances that we're in right now? What should we be doing?
Right.
It's always a search. So.
That's right. That's right. And if you care about these sorts of questions, I'm sure they would invite your input on this. So it's a living document, a living thing that welcomes different viewpoints and different contributions. So so that's a very nice thing to be able to sort of contribute to this moral system. So.
The content of this video is produced by the Atheist Community of Austin, a nonprofit educational organization promoting positive atheism and the separation of church and state. If you enjoyed this content and are willing and able to provide a donation, please visit the website below.